And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Thursday. Day 2. Is Julio Jones going to get traded today? He didn't get traded yesterday. Unfortunately, that's what we were predicting. But, you know, it's got to happen sooner rather than later. No, I mean, we've got cap money to free up and other players to sign. We can't be having, $15 million tied up. Let's get this going. So, we'll see if it happens today. Hasn't happened yet, but we'll see if it goes down today. We're going to be breaking down the NBA from last night, as always, doing our moneymaker for tonight's action, and breaking down the stories like we always do. So let's just jump right into it with the first story. And talking about Julio Jones, I mean, is there still a possibility that the Falcons keep him? Because we get Falcons coach Arthur Smith says, we'll see if Julio Jones attends minicamp next week. So we know he didn't attend the OTAs, which tells us that, which doesn't really tell us that much. I mean, they're OTAs. I mean, Aaron Rodgers didn't do it. A lot of veterans, not necessarily. I mean, they're voluntary, folks. You don't have to do them. So, him not attending the OTAs didn't really tell us anything. Now, if he attended the OTAs, then yeah, he's going to stay a Falcon. You're not going to practice for a team. You're not going to be on the season. So, minicamp starts next week, and that's when kind of players are going to start reporting. So, the Falcons head coach seems a little optimistic here, saying we'll see. If they knew Julio Jones was going to be traded, he'd come out and be like, yeah, we're not really expecting him, or I doubt he shows up or something like that. But let's read the full quote here. We have conversations all the time with all of our players, Smith told reporters Wednesday. There's good communication going back and forth through multiple avenues, so we'll see what happens next week, where we're at, I can answer that for you next week. So we'll know definitely by Monday at the latest what's going on with Julio Jones. So expect him, if Julio Jones gets traded, it's going to be probably by the end of probably Friday, the business week. And then if he doesn't, then we could probably expect him to show up on Monday. Now, if he doesn't show up on Monday, then he's probably going to get traded. So we'll have to kind of take it day by day again until we get, actual confirmation, the actual story from Adam Schefter. He's going to be the first one to report it, folks. Let's be honest. So keep tabs on that. But it kind of seems like Arthur Smith, he's either left in the dark in this whole scenario, or he's told not to say what's going on. So I guess we can't even, really tell too much from this quote. But next Monday will really be a confirmative day whether they are keeping him or are releasing him. I think it just makes sense to release him because, like we said, we were talking about the salary cap yesterday on the show, and the Falcons were like 31st with like $300,000 left to spend for the entire rest of the season. So, freeing up $15 million, we told y'all it puts them in like top 11 in free cap space for this year. And, we know that the Falcons maybe get a little better defensively, get that running back. So we'll see what happens. But so far, we're still kind of left in the dark with this Julio Jones news. So not the greatest, but we'll know probably by Monday. Probably, hopefully by today. Obviously, the sooner the better, but Monday's probably that new day. Now, I know we were talking about this Wednesday being the day because it was the first day the trade could actually happen where they save all that money, but now I think we got to shift the day till next Monday, this Monday coming up. So we'll see what happens. But what's funny about this, Arthur Smith says, we'll see. He doesn't really know if Julio Jones is going to attend minicamp next week. Well, there's another coach in the NFL saying the same thing about a big star player. So this time, Matt LaFleur on if he expects Aaron Rodgers at Packers minicamp. Quote, I don't know. We'll see come Tuesday. Ooh, that's not good. We've got Arthur Smith saying, yeah, we'll see if Julio Jones shows up to our minicamp, and we kind of know Julio Jones is on the way out, and Matt LaFleur saying the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. This is not good for Packers fans out here. So let's see this quote a little bit more. Anything else in this quote? So with rumors swirling about Aaron Rodgers' dissatisfaction regarding the organization, Coach Matt LaFleur was asked Wednesday whether he's heard from the quarterback and if he expects Aaron Rodgers to be at mandatory. These are not voluntary. These are mandatory. Minicamp, which opens up June 8th in Green Bay. Quote, I've got nothing to update on that situation. I don't know. We'll see come Tuesday. So that's not very promising if I'm Matt LaFleur or a Packers player or a Packers fan that, we're Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones are kind of at the same level, and we kind of know that, Julio Jones is probably going to get traded. So is Aaron Rodgers most likely not going to show up and is actually not going to play for the Packers this season? So far, it's been all talk, but now since mandatory minicaps are starting, you must be here. If he's not there, that's the only telltale sign we need that Aaron Rodgers will not play. If he's not going to show up day one for minicamp, it's over. It's done. So we'll see what happens Tuesday in this Green Bay Aaron Rodgers saga. So we are getting close, folks. I mean, every day we're getting closer to that NFL season, and the deadlines of all these kind of players up in the air are starting to be confirmed a little bit more here. So next Tuesday for the Packers. Let's see when we get. Let me type when we get Atlanta's minicamp. When that starts, because then we can get I know I said Monday. I thought it was just going to start at the beginning of the week, but we know the Packers starts on Tuesday. So let's see when this Falcons minicamp starts. Let's see what we get here. I don't want rookie minicamp. I want regular minicamp. Okay, not... The rookie minicamp is done and passed. I don't care about that. Here we go. 20. Okay, here we go. Mandatory minicamp days. Here we go. Monday, we got Tampa Bay and the Bucks. Tuesday, we have the Falcons and the Packers. Hang on, what? Tuesday says Atlanta, Dallas, Detroit, Giants, Philadelphia. But in the article, it says that they'll know by Tuesday. So what's up with that? When did they have... I guess... Tuesday, June 8th to June 10th. Atlanta Falcons start. Tuesday, June 15th to June 17th. That's when they got the Packers. So I don't know if they mixed up their Tuesdays. We'll see come Tuesday. So expect this Tuesday. Atlanta's got this Tuesday, and so do the Packers. So we'll see what happens. Who shows up, who doesn't. But we'll know a lot more on these kind of trade scenarios and Aaron Rodgers holdout come Tuesday when mandatory minicamps begin. Alrighty, let's go to more Packers news here, focusing on the running backs here. A.J. Dillon believes the Packers could have, quote, the best running back tandem in the NFL. Okay, high bar to set. I mean, we've got, that Browns running back by committee with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's always great. We know the Colts have 3 deep. The Ravens, obviously, they're a big running team as well. So, it is kind of tight competition here in the kind of running back by committees. But let's see what A.J. Dillon says about that. So here we go. Second-year running back A.J. Dillon sounded rather bullish on his team's chances this season, specifically in regards to the Packers' rushing attack. Following the departure of Jamal Williams via free agency, Dillon sees a greater role for himself, which he believes could give opposing defensive fits. Quote, I think we can be the best running back tandem in the NFL. You look at us and you see the Thunder and Lightning, which absolutely we are, but the Lightning guy, Aaron Jones, he can also grind out some yards, and the Thunder guy, myself, I'd like to say I can still beat some guys running away from them. So I feel like we both definitely have our strengths, but we bring 2 bags, and the entire running back room is capable of guys that can do it all. That's just the standard in the running back room. That's what Coach Ben Sirmans preached, being able to do it all, being able to find a role on the team. So I feel like we definitely embody that. So, I mean, great kind of encouraging sounds out of here from A.J. Dillon. And, when we look at what kind of the running back by committee was last year, obviously the number 1 running back of that team, Aaron Jones, the Lightning that A.J. Dillon called them. I mean, he rushed for 1,100 yards. yards. He's got back-to-back 1,000 yards rushing seasons, and he rushed for 9 touchdowns in 2020. And get this, 16 rushing touchdowns in 2019. So we know he's absolutely great. He kind of was in a little bit of a running back by committee with Jamal Williams, who unfortunately is no longer there. But Jamal Williams last season, 500 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that's kind of a little solid for number 2. But when we look at what A.J. Dillon is doing, getting into this kind of bigger role, being kind of the solid number 2 running back on this team, I mean, he only had 46 rushes for only 242 yards. So, I mean, being that number 3 running back was still productive, and he had 2 touchdowns, and get this, he had 5.3 yards per carry. That's absolutely fantastic, folks. Like, the average is like 3, and that's exactly what the number 2 running back did last season, Jamal Williams. Well, he had 4.2, so a little bit above average, but I mean, for A.J. Dillon, rookie year, to go in and rush for 5.3 yards per carry, that's absolutely fantastic. So A.J. Dillon doesn't have to do that much to kind of make up of that production that they're losing from Jamal Williams, because it's only 500 yards. And we saw that A.J. Dillon just rushed for 240 last season. So he's definitely capable of doing that. So watch out for the Packers to have that dangerous running game, especially if there's no Aaron Rodgers this season. I mean, if they throw Jordan Love out at the starting quarterback, I mean, they're going to be a run-heavy offense as they kind of, ease Jordan Love into this Packers offense a little bit. But another thing that kind of A.J. Dillon pointed out here is that they want kind of a thunder and lightning running back. He calls Aaron Jones the lightning, and he calls himself, A.J. Dillon calls himself the thunder, because this man's got some quads on deck. Yes, sir. So we get this story right here. Running back A.J. Dillon took time to explain a few things about his quads yesterday. He says his quads are the biggest, strongest in the NFL. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. He now has nicknames for both of his quads. One quad is Quad Father, and the other is Quadzilla. And man, oh man, do we see the quads on this man. Woo! Those are some legit quads. This man is not lying. Nice to hand. Which one's this one? This one's the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. Hey, what's the right one called? He doesn't. He's just one is the quad. I'm calling the right one the Quadzilla. I like that a little bit better than the Quad Father. Look at that Quadzilla. Oh my gosh. It's like you see his kneecap and his quad is just like 10 times bigger than that. Absolutely mammoth. So that's definitely some thunder out here. Then we get this angle of the quads in motion. Yes, sir. And then what's this last picture right here? Ooh, yeah, both front-facing quads staring us in the eyes. I mean, we got Quad Father and Quadzilla staring us right in the eyes. I'm petrified. Oh my goodness, the quads are coming, folks. The quads are coming. So definite thunder out here. You got the lightning with Aaron Jones. So, I'm going to definitely be watching this Packers running back by committee. It's looking real solid. A.J. Dillon going into his second year. First year was pretty solid. Even though he didn't have that many rushes, he made every opportunity with them. He was elevated to the second running back this season. And if they're going to do a running back by committee here, I mean, absolutely. So A.J. Dillon, the quads on deck, Quadzilla, Quad Father, but who was the original big quad running back? And we got to shout out, the legends, the legacy. And he's not that much of a legend because he's still a little fresh in the league, but Saquon Barkley, Quads, y'all remember that? Just because he didn't play last year, let's not forget about these quads. So here we go. Saquon Barkley, the OG Quad Father. Now this is the Quad Father, right? He's the OG, Saquon Barkley. So maybe A.J. Dillon kind of has to rename one of his quads. Give Saquon Barkley the Quad Father. A.J. Dillon could still have Quadzilla and Quadimoto instead of Quasimoto. Something like that. So A.J. Dillon may have to kind of relinquish one of those quad names to shout out, the OG here. But, this was Saquon Barkley right here. But the interesting fact here is that Saquon Barkley was trying to get away from the quad nickname, where A.J. Dillon is embracing the quad nickname. So we get this quote in 2018 by Saquon Barkley saying, "Hopefully I can get a nickname from my play on the field, not because of my legs." So we got A.J. Dillon coming into the league, embracing the quads, and we had Saquon Barkley trying to get away from that quad narrative. So it's kind of interesting how, different people think, different players think, and all that. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see if, this kind of quad talk of A.J. Dillon gets inside of his head, because A.J. Dillon says he's also trying to sell merch of his quads. So maybe trying to do a little bit too much branding out here. Maybe a little too nonsensical. I'm not going to knock it out. I think it's funny. I'm not going to be the actual NFL, the no fun league. I mean, I've got no problems with it. But, it's just kind of, different perspectives here. Saquon Barkley's been in the league a little bit more than A.J. Dillon has. Maybe A.J. Dillon is still kind of, getting acclimated to the culture of the NFL, whatever it is. But we'll keep an eye on both these players, obviously, the Quad brothers, and we'll see what they're looking like this year. But we'll see who runs a little bit better. The ones that's embracing the quads, or the one that's trying to escape the quads. He's running away from the quads, folks. How can you run away from the quads when the quads are attached to you? You're just looking down, trying to run away, and you're constantly reminded, damn, I got some quads on me. So that's the quad talk for today. We'll see if there's any more running backs trying to get the quads. I mean, Najee Harris, let's see your quads. I mean, we know he's kind of Derrick Henry-esque. Let's get Derrick Henry's quads. I want to see all the quads. Bring the quads to me, and I'll do a quads competition. I'll judge the quads like they do beauty pageants. We'll dress up the quads. We'll have, talent competition of the quads, and see what we can do out here and see who is truly the quad father. I mean, let's just put these nicknames up for grabs right here, because the quad father, folks, the Godfather, that is the pinnacle of just kind of respect and OG-ness. So I don't know if A.J. Dillon truly deserves a kind of name, hit one of his quads, the Quadfather by himself. You need an actual judge. Let me be the judge. I'll hand out the Quadfather award, okay? A.J. Dillon, Saquon Barkley. We'll have the competition. We'll have a little competition, dress them up, do some talents, and we'll see who's the actual Quadfather. So hit me up, Saquon Barkley and A.J. Dillon, and we can get it going. So, and any other competitor, people that want to compete in this, let's get the Quadfather actual nickname going before the season starts. So we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. And Andy Dalton, man. Woof, another quote by this man. All right, I don't want to knock him too much, but we may have to knock him down a little bit here. So, Andy Dalton on what changed since the Bears drafted Justin Fields. Quote, "I knew the situation I was going into regardless of if they drafted somebody or they didn't. I was on a one-year deal, and I was going to be the starter. So my mindset didn't have to change." Your mindset may have to change a little bit right here. Andy Dalton, you cannot expect to be the starter this season. Folks, we gave him the chances. We gave him the benefit of the doubt. We were rooting for Andy Dalton all of last season, but he just kept floundering and not getting it done and not being that good either. And so, we're not going to do the same thing here with the Bears. We're ready for somebody new. Let's get somebody new in here. We're not living in the past. We're not the Jaguars. We're not Urban Meyer. We're not living in the past of Tim Tebow. What are you doing for us now? And if you're not doing it for us now, we'll get somebody in that can. If they can't, then we'll get somebody next year. And if they can, we'll get somebody next year. It's just like, we're not going to live in the past and take all these kind of these quarterbacks that weren't even that good, not even that great, when they were kind of the main guy in their own organization. Tim Tebow with the Broncos, Andy Dalton with the Bengals. I think the Bengals, Andy Dalton and Tim Tebow, I think, had the same amount of playoff wins, which is absolutely disgusting if you're Andy Dalton, and not that good of a compliment if you're Tim Tebow either. So let's get this quote here. Let's see what Andy Dalton is saying. So, having signed for just one season with the Bears in March, Dalton knew the state of affairs at hand was that he was coming in to start for 2021, and beyond that was a mystery to be solved only by time. Thus, when Chicago made the big move up to number 11 spot to select his franchise quarterback of the future in Fields, Dalton's approach and focus remained unaltered. If they just drafted Justin Fields and I was Andy Dalton, my focus and approach would not remain unaltered. I'd be altering that. I'd be like, damn, now I got to even play better. I had it nice made out here. I didn't even have to do anything. They were paying me for 1 year. This is basically my last year anyway, whether I did good or bad. It's not like anybody's going to really give me another chance in this league. So I had it made. I was just going to coast through the season, baby. But now they bring in Justin Fields. I got to go compete a little bit more. I know I'm not going to win the starting job. So let's see what Andy Dalton says. Quote, I knew the situation I was going into regardless of if they drafted somebody or they didn't. I was on a 1-year deal and I was going to be the starter. So my mindset didn't have to change. I already knew that I'm going to do everything I can to be the best player I can for this team. Did you say that with the Cowboys? Because if that was you saying, I already knew that I'm going to do everything I can be the best player I can for this team and to help this team win, you didn't do that with the Cowboys at all. At all. You didn't do that even closely. So, not the best here. And that's been my goal since the very beginning. Whatever happens after this year happens. My mindset didn't change just because they drafted Justin. So, Andy Dalton, a little unfortunate here. Well, not even unfortunate. I mean, he did it to himself, unfortunately. I mean, if he went and balled out for that Cowboys team and was looking real good, the Cowboys probably still would have let him go. But then Andy Dalton maybe could have went to the Broncos and competed in there. Maybe the Broncos don't even bring in Teddy Bridgewater, so maybe he could have just competed with Drew Lock. Or maybe he goes, what's another team that kind of needed a quarterback, kind of plug and play? He probably wouldn't have gotten the Colts job. But either way, Andy Dalton really showed us nothing last season, and he can't really expect to be the starter when they bring in Justin Fields. And, we'll see what Matt Nagy does. I think he's kind of leaning towards starting Justin Fields week 1. Obviously, it's all depending on what's going on in the OTAs and minicamps and all that, but I can't really see Andy Dalton being that good, elevating his play that much. I mean, we've seen it, folks. It's not like, he had one season in the Bengals and then, he was shopped around and we never really saw Andy Dalton. No, I think we got like a clear 6-7 years of Andy Dalton in Cincinnati, and it was always lackluster. 8-8, first round exits of the playoffs, 9-7, first round exits of the playoffs. I think he did get to 10-6 a couple of times, but once again, first round exits in the playoffs. So nothing deep, nothing concrete, nothing solid, nothing that you can kind of bet on and kind of rely on consistently. So it's just unfortunate for Andy Dalton. His career is fizzling out, and I don't know if he goes anywhere next year. I doubt it. Maybe a backup. I would say Andy Dalton's a solid backup. I'll give him that. I'll give him the backup job here of the Bears, just because he has that starting experience. He's been a starter in this league, so he could be a definitely solid backup, but who wants to be a backup? You know what I mean? So that's what Andy Dalton's saying. His mindset hasn't changed. That's what he's saying on the outside. I'm sure this man's pissed on the inside, but he'll never say that. Alrighty, here we go. Moving on to the Ravens. Ravens plan to use Lamar Jackson under center more in 2021. Alrighty, so we know the Ravens really kind of need to switch up their offense a little bit. I mean, Greg Roman, he seems to be a good offensive coordinator, just kind of not the best last season, really couldn't truly get it done. So he's planning to use Lamar Jackson under center more in 2021, but these quotes here are truly kind of ambiguous. I mean, there's nothing concrete. He's kind of just saying it. So here we go. Offensive coordinator confirmed in a recent Q&A with season ticket holders that the offense would see Jackson lined up under center more under center after spending the overwhelming majority of his time in shotgun. Quote, that is definitely going to be a part of what we do this year, the percentage of which I cannot state at this point. So, okay. I don't know the extent of it, but we are working on it and evaluating it every day. So, I mean, that's what we're getting. That's the kind of clickbait headline that they're using Lamar Jackson under center more in 2021. So, he has to go out there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Shotgun under center, you're still play actioning. Maybe you can fake it a little bit more kind of under center because, they're kind of expecting kind of a shallower pass game a little bit. more of a run game out of the under center, so maybe you can sell the play action a little bit more. But at the end of the day, you have to open it up downfield. I mean, that was the issue. It wasn't that Lamar Jackson was in shotgun the entire time. It was that, they weren't going down the field. So let's hear that, Greg Roman, that you're going down the field more. Now, they brought in wide receivers to help that. They brought in Sammy Watkins. Did they bring in somebody else? Let me bring that up real quick. Their draft pick, I think they drafted somebody decent as well. But they definitely, helped that deep ball by bringing in Sammy Watkins. He's not the best. Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman. How tall is this man? 6'1"? 6'2". Ooh, yeah, definitely helped there. So that's what we want to hear. We want to hear that you're going deeper. And that's exactly how you do it. I mean, you've got the run game, so they're all pressed up. Why are you not going deeper? Are you afraid of Lamar Jackson's arm? Because, that's always in the media. That's kind of the big headline. Lamar Jackson's not an actual quarterback. He's a running back at the quarterback position. And I don't buy into any of that. I think it's disrespectful saying that, and I don't even truly believe it while we watch it. But we have to see the Ravens and Lamar Jackson start going deeper down the field more consistently, spread the field vertically. You already do it kind of in the running game, kind of stretching it horizontally. You have to stretch the field vertically too. So we don't care if Lamar Jackson's under center or in shotgun, just go deeper more. That's it. That's it. And they didn't have the receivers to do that last season. They had the receivers to do it this season. So let's see it this season. Stop. Oh, yeah, he's going to be under center. Okay. Is he still going to be dinking and dunking under center? Is he still going to be running the ball most of the time under center? Because you can still do all that. We want to see you go deep. So that's going to be something to look for come this season. Yeah, we can see how much actual under center he is, but if he's not going deep under center, it's still not going to make a difference. Under center or in shotgun, it's not going to make a difference. So we'll see what Greg Roman does, but definite big pressure on the Ravens and Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson to go deep. Sammy Watkins, I mean, he's got to kind of turn back into that A1 tier 1 wide receiver, and I think he only had one season. I think like Sammy Watkins' first season with the Bills, is that where he got to start? Let's bring that up quickly. Because he's going to have to return to form, and he only had one good season. When was it? His second season, he caught 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's what we're talking about. His receiving yards per target was 10 yards down the field, his best season in 2015, and then just kind of has been floundering ever since. To 430 yards in 2016, 590 yards in 2017, 519 yards in 2018, 673 yards in 2019, and 421 yards in 2020. So he's got to return back to that 2015 form, be that deep ball receiver, that 6'1" fast receiver that can get behind the defense, go up and get the ball. We haven't seen it recently, and he just played for Patrick Mahomes these last 3 seasons. Still wasn't kind of the main focal point of that offense. I mean, you got Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. I'm taking those receivers over Sammy Watkins all day, every day. But he's going to have to step it up this year with Lamar Jackson and Greg Roman in this vertical offense. Got to see him going downfield more. So we'll see if Sammy Watkins can help out Lamar Jackson a little bit, or if it's going to be the rookie that really kind of steals all the focus this year. Alrighty, folks. Well, I don't know how many times we have to say it, but, we'll say it all the time because we get more information, once again, validating, vindicating what we've been saying. So here we go. If you didn't know that, this Tim Tebow clown circus is all about making money, well, here's more proof for you. So the Jaguars are continuing their commitment to revitalize downtown Jacksonville, unveiling new plans today for their sports performance center and hotel/commercial development that includes a 4-season hotel. Oh, you need money? You need money to build all this? Oh, go get Tim Tebow. Let's have the 5 highest selling items on NFLshop.com. How do we do that? We bring in Tim Tebow because everybody loves to waste their money on Tebow merchandise for some reason. I don't get it. I have spent $0 on Tim Tebow memorabilia, merchandise, anything. I've spent 0. So I don't get it. But, NFLshop.com. Men's jerseys, women's jerseys, kids' jerseys. Kids' jerseys! Y'all are pitting your kids in Tebow jerseys? You should be ashamed of yourselves. Those kids are not going to grow up right, and it's all on your head. So, I mean, this is looking real nice. Downtown Jacksonville kind of sports performance center. We're having hotels. Look at these designs. I mean, this is costing money, folks. Money. Look at this. Looking real solid out here. So, once again, folks, it's only publicity. Maybe even the Urban Meyer hire is pure publicity to sell tickets. A high-profile coach. Yeah, let's get him in here. He's probably not going to work, but if he does, all right, that's good. And if he doesn't, we already made the money. So we don't care. We're just trying to go after the sports performance center and hotel/commercial development that includes a Four Seasons hotel. So the Tebow signing is all about the money. The AEW wrestling event that was fighting in the field, on the field, and in Urban Meyer's offense, that's all for the money, and potentially even Urban Meyer hire was for the money as well. So I'm sorry, Jacksonville, we can't buy you as serious contenders this year because everything is just about making money, getting more elaborate downtown sports performance centers. So it's unfortunate. We're all about winning here on the show and high levels of competition, and everything the Jaguars have been doing is low level, not even competition. They've got no competition in mind. They've got zero competition in mind. They're all about the brand, the money. So I can't get behind it. Tebow's a clown. Tebow's a puppet. We've all known this. It's unfortunate, but that's the truth because we get stories like this coming out every day that just shows it's all about the money for Jacksonville, and I just can't get behind it. If I was, if I was doing a business show, yes, I would get behind it. Yes, but that's not what we do here at Takes by Fans. I want to see you win. Have a legacy. Win a Super Bowl. Be the team. Be the new Patriots that everybody's talking about for 20 years. 20 years. Instead of signing Tim Tebow for the money. Damn. Unfortunate. But the Jaguars, they're the 32nd team. They're our 32nd team. We'll talk about them if they're good. If they're not good, we're still gonna trash on them and bring all these stories up in the from the offseason to the regular season and be like, yeah, we told you they're not about winning. They're not about winning, folks. So that's the Jaguars. And another team, hang on, let me go to this story now. We'll skip the next story for now, but let's go to this story about another team that's truly not even close about winning because they hired Dan Campbell as their head coach. The Lions are not serious about winning in serious high level of competitions either because we get another Dan Campbell story being absolutely wild. So here we go. Lions head coach Dan Campbell showed up to his press conference this morning wearing a racing helmet. Dan Campbell had been selected as the Grand Marshal for the Detroit Grand Prix on June 12th. So he goes in the press conference wearing the helmet. And I don't have confirmation on this, but he wore this the entire press conference, folks. He was muffled. He was like, I'm glad to be here. I'm fired up for the Grand Prix, and we're gonna get it done, and we're all about winning here, and I'm gonna get this team ready to rock because I'm a race car driver, and I'm gonna be the Grand Marshal for the Detroit Grand Prix. Yes, sir, the Lions Super Bowl champions. And the reporter's like, what the hell did you just say, dude? We can't understand you. Please take off the helmet. And then Dan Campbell's like, I'm not taking off the helmet. The helmet's me, and it brings motivation to the squad. If I can't handle it, I'm going to wear this helmet 24/7. And the reporter's like, dude, please take off the helmet. We surely cannot understand what you say. I'm not going to take off the helmet. We're winning the Super Bowl this year, and you can't tell me otherwise. I've got the helmet. I'm the Grand Marshal. You're going to disrespect the Grand Marshal here. We're ready to rock and roll and draw to victory. And the reporter's like, all right, we're out of here. We're not going to deal with this anymore. And then the room's empty, and Dan Campbell is still screaming nonsensical that nobody can understand. So, Folks, what are we here to win, or are we here to put on a clown show, folks? Because I want to see you win. And if I was a fan of these teams, I would be absolutely demoralized. I'd be like, this is my head coach. He's got a racing helmet on? The hell's going on? And this man wore it in practice as well, going around the field, talking to Jared Goff, be like, yo, Jared, you ready to rock? You ready to rock this? Oh, that was a good ball. That was a good ball, Jared Goff, yeah. Jared Goff, yes. Good not see this. Good block, good block. And everyone's like, yo, Dan, we truly cannot understand what you say. You need to take this helmet off. And you know he just didn't for the entire day, bruh. So we got clowns in Jacksonville, we got clowns in Detroit, and Detroit. I guess I don't even know. I don't even know how I have to rank these teams. I guess I do Detroit number 31 just because they had Jared Goff, a decently proven quarterback over Trevor Lawrence, who's probably going to be pretty solid in year one, but. Yeah, I guess I would put Detroit at 31 and the Jaguars at 32 for, the worst teams in the league so far. But man, oh man, what are we doing? And I'm all about, having fun and this and that. Like I said, the quads, do the quad thing. That's fun because, you see that you're working on your actual ability. I mean, you use your quads in football. So yeah, go ahead and market the quads. I don't want to see you wearing a helmet. I don't want to see you signing Tim Tebow. I don't want to see you on television in a wrestling event handing footballs to, I believe that was Chris Jericho. I think that's who it was. I don't want to see you handing Chris Jericho footballs to throw at another wrestler in the oldest laptop. that was the funniest part of the entire thing. Urban Meyer hands over this 1980s laptop, obvious prop. You couldn't, expense a little bit more. Once again, the Jaguars saving money. They're like, oh, we need a prop. Get the 1980 Dell laptop that's down in the basement. Get that. You could have made it a little bit more, modern, So that's what we've got. That's what we've got here, folks. We've got clowns at the top of these organizations, and I don't know. But let's go to a new head coach because this man does it right. This is what we're talking about. This is how you coach. This is how you lead to win. This is what we're talking about. So, Bruce Arians, I mean, every time we hear Bruce Arians' story, we're loving him more and more and more. And it's the same here with this story. Bruce Arians asked Tom Brady to scout wide receivers ahead of the 2021 draft. Fantastic. Getting input from everybody. We all know the minorities that are on this coaching staff. Taking all their opinions and using it to win the Super Bowl. Fantastic. Getting input from your players that are actually the ones performing on the field. Fantastic. So the fact that Bruce Arians asked Tom Brady to scout wide receivers ahead of the 2021 draft. Hey, Tom, which which wide receivers do you like? Who do you want to throw to? Are you like this guy? All right, we can maybe get behind him. What did you like about him? Oh yeah, we had that too. Okay. All right, thanks, Tom. Thanks for your input. We'll see. We're not gonna 100% blindly follow you, but we're gonna definitely take that input and kind of weigh it heavy. It's not guaranteed that we're definitely gonna choose that player, but thanks for that input. And then Tom Brady's like, damn, they asked me about my opinion. This is how, relationships should be going in professional sports and just business in general. Getting input from everybody. Nobody knows everything. Nobody's decision is 1,000% right 100% of the time. You need input, different experiences, different kind of anecdotes from everybody, different angles. Oh, you saw that? I saw this. Did you see that too? Well, I did see that, but I really thought this was better because of this. And they're like, oh, yeah, now that I see this, comparing it to my original, okay, yeah, I can see, oh, and then, you get somebody else involved, be like, all right, what are you seeing here? And they're like, yeah, I saw that and that, but did y'all just see this? And then it's like, oh, wow, mind blown. We never saw that. We never thought of it. We never looked at it from that angle. Okay, now all of our inputs collectively coming together, we can make the best decision for the team. And that's exactly what Bruce Arians is doing on this Bucs team, and they won a Super Bowl, folks. They're not bringing in Tim Tebow for the money in the circus. They're not asking for lions at practice. They're not wearing race car helmets on the field or in press conferences. No, they're having real discussions, real intellectual discussions, scouting discussions from everybody involved on the team. So give respect to Bruce Arians here. Absolutely magnificent out here. I love it, man. Oh man, Bruce Arians. Do I call him my favorite coach in the NFL? Potentially. I like Andy Reid a lot. I like the Dolphins head coach. I think he's a great kind of head coach. I love what he does. Brian Flores, and I'm loving Bruce Arians here. So love it. Now let's get into this article very quickly. Just kind of want to bring up this one quote. So here we go. So this is a quote of Bruce Arians telling Tom Brady. Quote, look at these receivers and see if there's anything you like, and I will critique your ability to critique receivers. So once again, we're not taking 100% input from what you say, but we are going to kind of take your kind of evaluation, your critiques, what you like, and then we'll see what we see in the coaching staff and the wide receiver kind of coach and the quarterback coach and all that, and seeing if they line up, they match up, and we're just using that collective input to make the right decision. So, asked by Rich Eisen how Brady did in his evaluations, and Arians replied saying, quote, he did great. There were certain things he likes. He likes really good, big, fast receivers. So you get an input on what Tom Brady likes, maybe tweak or modify the offense around that a little bit, try to go after these receivers a little bit. So the Bucs ended up taking a wide receiver in this year's draft. They took him 4th round, Jalen Darden. Now we heard that Tom Brady likes what's the actual quote here? Really good, big, fast wide receivers. Now, Jalen Darden's not the biggest. He's only 5'8", but, he's a slot wide receiver. They've already got the big weapon in Mike Evans. You don't need another. I mean, obviously, you can always use another one, but, yeah, you like big wide receivers. All right, you got your big one, but here's this fast one. So, once again, using that input here, you don't know everything. No, I don't even know. Well, I wouldn't. Maybe I do. But, getting that input from everybody, nobody knows everything at the top, folks. You have to have these other angles to view things, these other experiences. And Bruce Arians is doing that to a mother-loving T, folks, and we're all about it. And that's why we have these 3 stories right in a row, folks, because these are clear differences between teams that are absolutely trash. Jaguars just drafted 1st overall. Lions have been trash forever, and the Bucs have just won a Super Bowl. So there is clear night and day differences, folks. We are not saying this for no reason. We are not kind of crazy for saying this or thinking this. This is what's happening. We get garbage coaches that don't know how to coach and putting on publicity stunts to try to motivate a team, and one coach that is actually getting into the nitty-gritty on what it means to be a good coach and to assemble a good team that really kind of values and revolves around the actual team and the players on the team itself. So I don't know why everybody's praising the Jags and praising the Lions. Let's praise the actual good coaches, the great teams. Damn, they just won a Super Bowl, folks. Come on. Woo! Fired up, man. Fired up. I love seeing great coaching, man. And that's great coaching right there. Bruce Arians. Fantastic. Can't wait to root for the Bucs. I told y'all we're going to be Bucs fans this season. And every time Bruce Arians' story comes out, I'm this much closer to buying the Bucs kind of 3-print canvas and a Bucs flag. I am this close, folks. Bruce Arians, I freaking love him. Alrighty, now we got to get serious. Because I cannot believe this. So, big story dropped in the NFL, and it's getting swept right under the rug. Classic, because nobody wants to have a bad image of the NFL. But here it is, folks. Absolutely horrendous story. Here we go. NFL pledges to stop, quotes, race norming, review past scores for potential race bias. Now, this race bias is absolutely wild. Wild to even think of. Wild to even kind of have this thought in your brain in 2020. Forget, just having this thought in general, but having it in like today's age, and just like it just makes it's wild. So let's just talk about it. So the NFL yesterday pledged to halt the use of race norming, which assumed black players started out with lower cognitive function. What? They've been doing this for the last 30 years and nobody was like, this is wild to even be like, how can I be taking a part in this? Like, what? So they're saying that, this whole kind of lawsuit that's been coming about is in the fact that they pledge $1 billion to stop doing this. Come on, folks. I mean, what the hell? But this is what it's all about. So we all know, head injuries are big in the NFL because it's a physical sport, obviously. That's something that the NFL needs to keep locked down. They need to keep all those studies locked down because if they ever come out, it kind of ruins the brand. That's why they're throwing $1 billion at this because, all right, we can be racist, but we can't let the real studies about kind of CTE and early onset dementia and brain injuries, we cannot let that come out because if it does, we're ruined. We're ruined. So, all right, we'll be racist. Here's $1 billion. Let's try to forget this. We're throwing $1 billion. Hey, we're not throwing $1 million. Not 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50, 100, 150, 250, 500 million. No, we're throwing $1 billion at this issue to try to appear not racist so the real story doesn't come out. But I mean, the fact that you're just admitting you're racist and hoping that just gets swept under the rug, folks, I mean, you want to talk about institutionalized racism, here it is, folks. It's not that everybody's racist, but the top industries, the top business, the higher ups, they have these kind of what do they call it, race norming. They have these race norming kind of, I don't want to call them laws, but these race norming, I don't want to use practices, rules, unwritten / written race norming rules. This is the institutionalized racism that everybody's calling for, that everyone's like, oh no, you're crazy. There's black players in the NFL. There's black people on my TV. You can't have institutionalized racism if there's people on my TV that are black. No, folks, what are you talking about? It's right here. It's right in front of you, and everybody still denies that it's going on. It's wild. It's wild to think this way, these race norming, and it's wild to say that it doesn't happen, folks. It's true, like, people love walking around blind because it doesn't affect them, or they just don't care, or whatever it is, or they secretly think they are superior, which is... don't even get me started, because the fact that you could even think, like, first of all, you would have to think that way to start believing it, and the fact that you could even have that initial thought is just absolutely wild. I can't even fathom thinking that way. But this is what the entire thing's all about. The early, like, onset dementia. I can get the real right here. They're talking about early stage dementia, in that black people they started at lower cognitive function, so they weren't kind of eligible for the NFL payout of having, these kind of brain injuries, these head injuries, because they're like, oh, well, y'all had low cognitive function before. That's not dementia. That's just you having low cognitive function because you're black. That is the essence of what is going on here, folks. It's absolutely wild, and they were denying these black athletes the money that they truly deserved for, the head injuries that they were suffering playing the game, having early stage dementia, CTE, moderate dementia. So Alzheimer's disease as well. I mean, this is all linked to the NFL, folks, truly. So the fact that the NFL was like, yeah, we're denying you, you're black. Your brain's not messed up. It's just always been lower than white people. That's what it is. We're not going to pay you this money. This isn't the sport. It's because you're black. You've got lower cognitive, what do they say? Lower cognitive function. Lower cognitive function just because you're black. Like, how wild to say that. How wild to say that and believe in that. And this was created in like the 1990s, and we're still doing this 30 years after? This is still going on? Institutionalized racism, folks. This is it. Right here. It's right here, folks. They're admitting to it. They're throwing $1 billion to try to be like, oh, our bad. Oh yeah, black people actually, are actually equal. I mean, their brains function the same way that white people do, or just everybody does in general, because race has nothing to do with that. So I don't even know what to say. Like, it's getting swept under the rug, folks. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody wants to admit it. The NFL is throwing $1 billion. That, just look at the money, folks. Look at the money. Money's everything. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. I mean, folks, that money is everything. And the fact that money can't buy happiness, and you wouldn't want my money. I mean, I have to work for all this money. I mean, you wouldn't even want to have all this workload of my money. I'm a billionaire and I'm a trillion. Well, I don't think there's any trillionaires, but I'm a billionaire and I'm a $1 billion corporation. But we're just working so hard. And you wouldn't, I mean, I would love to earn $30,000 like y'all do. I would love to do that. Free, my time's free and no worries. Oh man, you couldn't even imagine having this much money. It's just so much pressure. Oh, I can't even enjoy all this money. Money doesn't make you happy. So money is everything, folks. It is truly everything, everywhere. I don't want to hear it. And just look at how much money they're throwing to this issue to try to get it kind of out of the media, swept up. Hey, we're actually doing good here. Yeah, we were racist yesterday, but today, baby, we're not racist no more. Here's $1 billion, black people. Yes, sir. Come get it. You guys actually have equal cognitive function than white people. Who would have thought? We just found that out today in 2020. Just yesterday. We found it out immediately and we stopped it immediately. As soon as we saw those studies come back, be like, oh my God, we were wrong. We got to fix this. Come on, folks. They were pressured. They were forced to do this. They threw $1 million at it. They're trying not to have anybody talk about it. It's unfortunate. It's not even unfortunate. It's just, it's wild that this stuff is still going on. And for anybody to deny that it does happen or it is happening currently in today's day and age, what more do y'all need? What more do y'all need? If you're just going to be ignorant and be like, that's just one, folks. That's just one instance. Folks, please stop. Please stop. Admit when you are wrong. It's never too late, folks. I mean, that's what gets better. That's what evolves as a civilization. Everybody wants to hang in the past and, hold on to their old beliefs and not change and not rearrange their thinking when presented new information. That's what's holding society back. Do you not? I mean, black people are still, or I should just say minorities all in general, are still fighting for the same rights that they were doing 100 years ago. Because nobody wants to rethink their thinking when presented with new information. And that's what's holding us back, but nobody wants to admit that. Nobody wants to admit they're wrong. Oh my God, how could I be wrong? How could I be wrong? I've got the higher cognitive function. I can't be wrong. What are you, nuts? What are you, nuts? It's all the minorities wrong. They've got lower cognitive function. They're all wrong. Stop it. Truly. Like, I'm being dead serious. Like, y'all need to read. Like, I cannot get inside the brains of people that truly would believe this and go along with this for the last 30 years, folks. It's disgusting. That's like the only word, like, there's so much more to that word, but it is truly disgusting how people think and act in their superior minds. I can't get behind it. I can't even fathom to start thinking about thinking in that kind of mindset. So I'm glad that this is stopping, but the fact that it's stopping right now is just like it's not too late, because it's not even better late than ever, because it shouldn't even happen. But that's where we're at, folks. I don't know, man. It's wild that this is still happening. And if this is just one example, there's 1,000 other businesses and stuff like this that still goes on. So we'll see if anybody talks about it. If any big consequences come down, I'm sure it doesn't, because they'll just throw money at the problem. So that's where we're at. Alrighty, let's move on here. All right, here we go. Gonna go to some basketball stories now. Russell Westbrook, we just know the unfortunate Wizards team season has come to an end, unfortunately. 4-1 loss over the 76ers with no Joel Embiid. They were competitive in the first half, I'll give them that, but that just scoreability that the 76ers have is just the Wizards don't have that. But Russell Westbrook is endorsing his longtime coach, Scott Brooks, saying, quote, "He did a hell of a job. He should be applauded for the job he's done with this ball club in 1,000,000%. Yes, I mean, Scott Brooks, being with Russell Westbrook, in the Thunder, transferring over to the Wizards with him. And this Wizards team was absolutely garbage, folks. I mean, they had no good big. They had no good bench. I mean, they were kind of like the Celtics, but maybe even a little worse because at least they kind of had three good, solid players in Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kemba Walker, where the Wizards only had Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, who are still two good superstars, but you need at least three, and then you also need a bench. You need a good supporting cast with those three kind of superstars, and that Wizards team didn't have anything. Rui Hachimura was really kind of hot and cold the entire year, never really solid. Davis Bertans was out last game. He's kind of their third best scorer of the basketball. Alex Len, a garbage big. Robin Lopez, who's unfortunately, aging out of the league a little bit, kind of past his prime. And Daniel Gafford, I mean, a young gun out there. So nothing proven besides those two superstars. So yeah, I mean, Scott Brooks did the best he could. He fought for the play-in tournament. He got that 8th seed, looking real good with this absolute garbage squad. So I give Scott Brooks so much credit, and I'm glad that Russell Westbrook is standing behind him. Russell Westbrook, I mean, everybody's left him. Kevin Durant, James Harden have left him. Him and Scott Brooks have just stayed together. Now, they haven't won any meaningful games, which is truly unfortunate. But just their kind of level of play, their level of coaching with the talent they've been having, you got to give it up for them. I mean, still going in, night out, giving it 1,000%, coaching, playing with Russell Westbrook and Scott Brooks. So I don't think Scott Brooks should be fired. He should still be a head coach in this league, in my opinion. And we'll see what happens here with the Wizards, whether they blow it all up, whether if Russell Westbrook goes anywhere. Bradley Beal, we're going to talk about him in a second. But, I mean, if this Wizards team can get a solid big, an efficient big, and maybe kind of another kind of all-star or just kind of some solid role players for that bench, I mean, I would take this team as solid playoff contenders for next year, probably in the 6th, 7th seed debate, potential upsets in the first round, but they need that good big, folks, and you need three superstars. They've only got the two and no good big, so... yeah, Scott Brooks, he did a hell of a job. I truly agree with Russell Westbrook there. And then we get Bradley Beal here. What's going on with him? Bradley Beal declined to answer whether Washington is the place for the long term. We've heard quotes of him saying he wants to retire in Washington. How true is that? We're not really sure. How did he like playing with Russell Westbrook? I mean, we respect the hell out of Russell Westbrook, but we know it doesn't translate to wins, which is, unfortunate. That doesn't keep star players a la Kevin Durant, James Harden leaving him. James Harden leaving. Did James Harden leave him twice? With the Rockets, I mean, is that right? They were there. They were the Rockets together. So, I mean, it just doesn't translate to wins. And at some point, players get fed up with that. They go and form super teams in Brooklyn. I mean, that's what happens. So, we'll see what Bradley Beal does. He had a great season, great scorer of the basketball, a true superstar in this league. Like we said, you need three, though, and they just don't have that third. So, we'll see what they do in the offseason, who stays, who's going. But I truly could potentially see this Washington team being very solid next year if they just get that big, if they just have a better bench, because they had no supporting cast, folks. It was truly trash. Alrighty, talking about another kind of team that is unfortunately eliminated from the playoffs, the Miami Heat. And now we get kind of interesting history with them. So before being swept by the Milwaukee Bucks, the Heat were swept 3 previous times with Pat Riley running the franchise's basketball operations. All 3 times that they got swept, Riley made major personnel changes, sweeping out half or more of his roster. So, this is what they've done in the past. They just got swept again. And, I mean, this Heat team, I mean, yeah, the only people I would probably keep are Jimmy Butler if he wants to stay, and maybe Bam Adebayo. Maybe we can try to get him a little bit better. But, yeah, Kendrick Nunn, you're gone. Duncan Robinson, yeah, you're gone. Tyler Hero, yeah, definitely out of there. So, yeah, I mean, there's nobody I'm keeping. Trevor Ariza, he was solid. All right, nothing great. He could stay or go. I don't think it truly matters. But at the end of the day, Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, even Andre Iguodala. I mean, it's done. I mean, you're done. I mean, I'm sorry. I loved you. I mean, you had a fantastic career. You were a big name. You were on the championship teams at the end. But you're done. You're gone. You're out of here. We need this roster spot. Udonis Haslem, we love you, but we need somebody that's just not a player coach out there. So, yeah. So watch out for this Heat team. They could probably blow it all up. It would not surprise me. Bam Adebayo could also potentially be gone. We'll see if Jimmy Butler's going to stay. But besides that, nobody's safe. And I would have no problems if they literally got rid of every single one of their players on this absolute garbage roster. So we'll see what Pat Riley does with this Heat team in this offseason. Alrighty, last night, the Hawks beat the Knicks. Classic. I mean, this Knicks team was not good, folks. Julius Randle, biggest flounder in the playoffs, and they just don't have that score ability that the Hawks do. So what did Trae Young do yesterday? I love it. Not even ices the game. I mean, this game was over pretty much in the fourth quarter. We saw Spike Lee leaving like 3 or 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, leaving early, the super fan that he is. So, Trae Young, they're already up here, 45 seconds left, cashes in a deep three. Look how deep this is, folks, at least 4 or 5 feet behind the three-point line, and he absolutely cashes out. And then what does he do? Takes a little bit of a bow. I love it, that kind of playful disrespect. Nice little wave goodbye as well to this Knicks team. And we'll talk about his explanation first, and then we'll tell you the real meaning. So here we go. Trae Young says why he bowed. He says, quote, "I know it's a bunch of shows around the city, and I know what they do when the show is over." I mean, just his real statement alone is killer. Absolutely icy. Ice Trae, yes, sir. Ice Trae gang. But you know why the real reason why he did it? The real reason why he took the bow and waved goodbye to the Knicks is because they were talking shit the entire series, folks. Every time at home, there was nonstop fuck Trae Young chants in the stands. I mean, we saw it, in the first 2 games. We saw here in game number 5 as well. I mean, the fans were angry at Trae Young because he was single-handedly destroying this Knicks team by himself. So, fuck Trae Young chants, Trae Young sucks, blah, blah, blah. So, he's probably saying, oh, fuck me? Oh, fuck me? Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Fourth seed at home. Goodbye. 4-1. Y'all are trash. Y'all can't even win at home when y'all haven't had a home playoff game in decades. And y'all want to say, fuck me? Fuck you! Goodbye! See ya! You'll be watching me on TV. You can say fuck me from your TV, but I'm gonna be still waving and bowing and draining threes and saying fuck these Knicks fans on TV, on basketball courts, in playoffs, folks. So, Trae Young can say whatever he wants. I mean, it's a great excuse. I mean, this is a great excuse. I know it's a bunch of shows around the city, and I know what they do when the show is over. But man, oh man, you know what he really wanted to say? Fuck you. Y'all, fuck y'all. Y'all want to say fuck me? I just destroyed y'all. Julius Randle? Y'all thought y'all could win and beat me with Julius Randle? Laughable. Fuck you. Goodbye. Not worth my time. I'm on to the next round. You're going home. I'll see you in another 10 years when you make the playoffs again. Goodbye. Curtains. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to the Trae Young show. So, that's what he was really talking about here. But, man, oh, man, classy Trae Young at the press conference and not going too hog wild like we just did. But, yeah, Trae Young is an absolutely phenomenal player. Can't wait to watch him in the second round, and we'll see how far he can take this Hawks solid. This is a solid Hawks team in the Knicks, man. Yikes. Big yikes. Alrighty, those are all the stories that we need to break down, cover, talk about for today. So let's head over to the NBA. We'll break down what happened last night. We'll do our moneymaker for tonight's action, and then we will be out of here. So here we go. First game up, unfortunately, the Wizards lose, and no Joel Embiid. He didn't play this game, out with that meniscus tear. Truly unfortunate. We'll see how he's looking for the rest of the playoffs, but I mean, it's gonna get worse as he progresses. He's probably gonna be hesitant. We heard Draymond Green. He's like, yeah, you may not be physically feeling it, but it's always in the back of your mind. Hang on, maybe I don't go so hard. Maybe I can't be this explosive. Am I gonna make it worse? Am I gonna be like a career-ending injury if I keep going? So even if it's not the pain, it's still that mentality, folks, and we just heard that from Draymond Green yesterday on Inside the NBA. So I mean, we're getting that player view, and I'm going to take that. So Joel Embiid does not play last night, and the Wizards still lose. Now, what they actually did do, the 76ers, which I love that Doc Rivers did this. They moved Ben Simmons to the 5, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. That great defender that he is. We know he's not the best scorer of the basketball, so, I mean, he can only score under the basket anyway, so let's just leave him there. We're missing that kind of scoreability with Joel Embiid not on the floor, so let's bring in Matisse Thybulle in the starting lineup and try to jumpstart our kind of offensive production a little bit more, because we know Ben Simmons doesn't do that. So, Doc Rivers, fantastic decision. It paid out. They won. Fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, this is what you have to do, folks, and I'm just so sick. I'm so sick of it. I'm just so sick of these coaches not experimenting with their lineups. I mean, they barely do it in the regular season. I mean, that's when you really do it. All right, what works? I mean, we don't have to go and win, be undefeated. We can lose a couple of games. It's gonna happen. No team has ever went undefeated. 72-9 or 73-9. That's the record. We're not probably gonna do that either. So we can kind of account for some losses. But let's experiment with kind of what we have as a team, try to see what lineups work. So if we do run into some injuries or we do run into some mismatches in the playoffs, that we're ready for that we've already experimented. We've already got kind of this lineup tooled at what can work for this specific series or just this specific game. So I praise Doc Rivers 1,000% for doing it this game, not waiting. All right, well, let's see if we can just win. Keep Ben Simmons at the 2 or at the 1, whatever they were doing with them. Let's just see. All right, we'll bring in Dwight Howard. We'll start him at the 5. We'll see what happens. Oh, we lost. All right, now we do the switch. And, now, a little bit more pressure, because if we just lose Game 6, now it's going into Game 7, and now we have to really make up our minds. But the earlier you do it, the better, and that's what I'm all about here with this Wizards team in Doc Rivers. So absolutely tip of the cap off. I'll give you my cap. I'll sign it. Doc Rivers, hit me up. I'll give you a signed cap. But very well done to him. So let's talk about the 76ers team. Seth Curry at the 1. They moved Matisse Thybulle up to the 2 where Ben Simmons was. Simmons at the 5. Danny Green still at the 3. And Tobias Harris still at the 4. So Seth Curry last night had a great game. Yes, sir. That's what we're loving from this man. 30 points, 2 assists, knowing that the scoring needs to come from somewhere, and him taking it upon himself to take 17 shots, and he was efficient as heck. 10 of 17 from the field, 3 of 6 from the 3. Great night by Seth Curry. Matisse Thybulle only playing 16 minutes, kind of getting a lot of rotation off that bench at that 2 role. But Matisse Thybulle, 7 points. He was pretty efficient, 3 of 5 from the field. The only shots he missed were 2 3-pointers, so not terrible overall. Ben Simmons at the 5 had a great night, triple-double, 19 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the field, plus 17 on the floor, highest plus minus on the team. So it worked out well, and they're definitely going to have to probably use this lineup a lot more in the playoffs. Tobias Harris, so reliable. Folks, how many times do we have to say it? 5th man of the year, Tobias Harris, 28 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds on 52% shooting. Efficient as heck. We love it. And then Danny Green, another flounder job. Classic. Nice defender. We know. I get it. But 5 points on 1 of 5 from the 3, 2 of 7, 28% from the field. I mean, what? Danny Green, please. Can you put on your Seth Curry and step it up? But luckily, we got the step up from Seth Curry, and we got the step up from the bench. Loving kind of rotating those players in and out here, not just putting it all on Matisse Thybulle, splitting up that kind of offense production throughout the bench. So we get Dwight Howard off the bench, 12 points, 8 rebounds in 15 minutes. Oh, I love it, man. Dwight Howard, man. Woo! He's playing absolutely fantastic this year. Love it. Tyrese Maxey off the bench, 13 points, 6 rebounds. He shot 42% on 14 shots. And then Furkan Korkmaz, 10 points on 50% shooting on 8 shots. So they truly got it done. 3 bench players all in 10 plus points, which is what we're looking for. And they ended up getting it done. So well done by the 76ers, figuring out how to win without Joel Embiid, getting ready for that second series against the Hawks, and we're all about it. So well done to the Wizards last night, or to the 76ers last night. Alrighty, here we go. The Wizards now. Russell Westbrook at the 1, Raul Neto at the 2, Bradley Beal back at the 3, which we've seen sometimes in the some of the games in the regular season. Rui Hachimura at the 4, and Daniel Gafford still at the 5. Russell Westbrook, 24 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. Unfortunately, a minus 21 on the floor. I mean, he shot 35% on 20 shots, folks. I mean, that's Russell Westbrook. It's unfortunate. It truly is, but this is classic Russell Westbrook. 4 turnovers, 35% on 20 shots, minus 21 on the floor. Very close to a triple-double. I don't know, man. I don't want to disrespect him. Like I say, I love the energy. I mean, he's the pinnacle of what you want a player to be. It just doesn't translate to wins, man. It's unfortunate. Raul Neto at the 2, 8 points. He only took 6 shots. Daniel Gafford at the 5, 8.7 rebounds, a -7 on the floor. The best on the starting lineup. Russell Westbrook -21. Raul Neto -8. Rui Hachimura -15. Bradley Beal -14. Daniel Gafford -7. Love to see it. Once again, I think the Wizards kind of figured out this lineup a little bit too late. Doc Rivers getting ahead of that lineup. I mean, they didn't start Daniel Gafford until Game 4, folks. I mean, so you got to do it early. You got to really experiment. You've just got to trust and go out and make that right decision. And a lot of coaches are hesitant on messing with the lineups, and I don't think that's the right way to coach. All right, Rui Hachimura, 21 points, and he was very well offensively last night. 61% on 13 shots, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Bradley Beal, 32 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 of 7 from the 3, 43% on 23 shots. Not bad either. Just unfortunately, they don't have the score. I mean, nobody else. I mean, 3 players in 20 or more points, which is good, but then everybody else just floundering. Off the bench, they don't have Davis Bertans anymore. That's a huge offensive score for them. Ish Smith, he put up 9 points on 50% shooting. Not bad either. Robin Lopez, 7 points, 2 rebounds, but that's just it. And they don't have that good defense, and they don't have that length, and they don't have that big, and they don't have that bench, just like literally everything that this 76ers team does. So an unfortunate series here. They just didn't match up, and how unfortunate we don't get Russell Westbrook versus James Harden and Kevin Durant. That's what we were looking for. That's what we were hoping for in the play-in tournament, that the Wizards would get the 7th seed. They only can claim the 8th seed, and now we don't get that this year. How unfortunate. Alrighty, next game up is the Hawks and the Knicks, and the Hawks get it done like we knew. We took them minus. They were get +1. They were +1 points last night. What? Of course we took that. So they absolutely blow out the Knicks. Once again, kind of early in the first half, but then come out storming in the second half like they've been doing all season long, or in this series at least. So well done for the Hawks last night, winning 103-89 over the Knicks. We can start with the Hawks since they won. Trae Young did his mother-loving thing, 36 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. He did get to the line 15 times, hit 13 of 15 from the line. Wasn't too efficient from the field, 3 of 11 from the 3, 35% from the field on 28 shots. But, you know, at the end of the day, he was putting up the points, so, and getting the calls. So we can't diminish that too much. Bogdanovich moving over to the 2 here. Or no, he was still at 2. My bad. The other Bogdanovich is at the 3. But Bogdanovich had a little bit of a poor game offensively. 9 points. He had 2 steals, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds, which is all good. But 9 points on 1 of 7 from 3. 36% on 11 shots. Ooh, that's an outlier game. We're lucky that came now when they still got the win. So he got the bad game out of the way. But we never really see anything too bad like that from Bogdanovich. So we'll let it slide. Clint Capela, who everybody's shitting on, who everyone's like, why is this man talking? +21 on the floor, the highest of the plus-minus on this Hawks team. Very well done. 14 points, 15 rebounds. Yes, sir. 2 blocks, no turnovers. I mean, what more do you want from this man? But everybody wants to trash Clint Capela. We just read the quotes yesterday on the show. Julius Randle dogging him for... We'll talk about Julius Randle, but man, oh man, you want to dog somebody, we'll dog you. I mean, absolutely garbage in this playoffs. Deandre Hunter, 15 points, 3 rebounds. Love it. John Collins, 13 points, 7 rebounds. Love that as well. So they were all getting it done in the starting lineup. They didn't really need the bench too much. Kevin Huerter, 8 points off the bench. Not efficient. 2 of 6 from 3. 3 of 8 from the field. Danilo Gallinari, 1 point on 7 shots. I mean, he only made the 1 point on the line and split his free throws. But 0 of 7 from the field. Once again, lucking out a little bit. That's why we're a little hesitant on taking this Hawks team over the 76ers. We'll see how no Joel Embiid or limited Joel Embiid does. But the outside shooting of the 76ers, the bench of the 76ers is a little bit more consistent than this Hawks team is. So that's going to be a little interesting to see how the series plays out coming up. Lou Williams only playing 6 minutes. Like, they're barely even playing him. Real interesting there. So just nothing good off this bench, and we hope that they can step it up a little bit in their next series. All right, let's go to this Knicks team now. Derrick Rose still in the starting lineup, and he floundered. You talk shit against Clint Capela, and then you flounder in the next game. I mean, you can't be doing that. So Derrick Rose, 6 points, 5 assists, but he shot 27% on 11 shots, folks. Yikes. RJ Barrett, 17 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 of 6 from the 3. Taj Gibson still at the 5, 4 points, 10 rebounds. Julius Randle, 23 points and 13 rebounds, but 38% on 21 shots. And 8 turnovers. If you're having 8 turnovers, you better hope you're a triple-double. You better hope you're putting up Russell Westbrook kind of numbers because that's what Russell Westbrook does. He gets the 8 turnovers, 7 turnovers, but he also puts up 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 15 assists. He had 3 assists, Julius Randle does, with those 8 turnovers. So absolutely garbage. He was also a minus 14 on the floor, the second worst on this Knicks team. So Julius Randle, what the hell are you talking about? Why would I listen to anything Julius Randle has to say? You are absolutely abysmal in this playoff series. Sorry, most improved. I mean, that's not even that good of an award to win, honestly, because you were just trash for your entire career and you kind of got better just for the regular season. That doesn't really matter. So yeah, Julius Randle, good flounder job, and you'll go back to being garbage next year in the regular season. So you better hope you can cash in on that regular season. You better hope you can get that contract extension because it's not coming ever again. So you better hope you can finesse the Knicks, or you'll be a bum like you are. That sounded a little too harsh, but I don't care. I don't care. If you're going to dog Clint Capela and he just beat your ass, I mean, what are we doing? And then Reggie Bullock, he had some nice points in the first half, but then kind of went ghost mode in the second half. 12 points, 4 of 8 from 3, 4 of 8 from, 4 of 10 from the field overall, but nothing great from this Knicks team. Off the bench, Nerlens Noel's only playing 15 minutes. Alec Burks, 12 points. We'll take that. Emmanuel quickly also put up 11 points. Not efficient. He just got to the line. Got to the line 6 times. 2 of 6 from the field. Nothing truly efficient there. But, we'll take the 10 or more points in only 13 minutes. But overall, Julius Randle couldn't be that main guy. Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, kind of lackluster for kind of the number 2 scoring options on this team and just couldn't get it done overall. So Hawks get the win. They beat the Knicks 4-1. And I think we hit all of our bets except that game 2 where the Knicks ended up winning. So well done for us for, cashing in on the Hawks this playoff series. Love it. Alrighty, next game up. One I was kind of disappointed on. I get it. I get why they lost and why they lost kind of bad, but I wish they were a little bit more competitive in this game. Grizzlies, Jazz. Jazz really just won right from the get-go. I mean, they got off to a good start. What was it, first quarter scoring like? I mean, they put up 47 points in the first quarter. It was game over by that time. They ended up outscoring the Grizzlies 47-27 in the first quarter alone, folks. So that's just how the tone got set, and we know the Grizzlies just do not have that firepower to really challenge back. They are a good defensive team, though, but they kind of went out with a little bit of a little lackluster bang. Not even a bang. I don't know. Little drizzle. If we're talking about water guns, they came out drizzling. They came out the gun drizzling, folks. So this Grizzlies team, truly unfortunate. We'll talk about them in a second, but well done for the Jazz. I mean, this offensive capability of them, it truly could push them over to the finals. Now that the Lakers are pretty much done and the Clippers are pretty much done and the Nuggets not having Jamal Murray, which isn't that much of a letdown, but now their bench isn't that deep either like this Jazz team is. The only competition here that the Jazz are going to have to face in the West is the Mavericks team going to be able to kind of keep up that scoring pace that we've been seeing, but they can't win at home. How crazy is that? And the Nuggets that just have kind of Michael Porter Jr. and really relying on Jokic down low. So this Jazz team has a nice kind of easy path to this finals because they got the outside shooting. So here we go. Mike Conley still at the 7 points, 2 assists. He only played 11 minutes, but he hit 75%, so we'll give him the credit for that. Donovan Mitchell, 30 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. He shot 5 of 8 from 3, 68% from the field. We love that. Rudy Gobert, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 7 of those rebounds offensive. Gotta love that. Royce O'Neal, 7. I mean, how much of a scoring factor has Royce O'Neal been this series? Got to give him credit. 17 points, 4 steals, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 of 7 from the 3, 63% overall from the field. Magnificent game. And then our man Bojan Bogdanovic got to get into the mix as well. 17 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 of 6 from the 3, 42% on 14 shots. So we know the offensive scoring is fantastic of the starters, and we know they've got the 6th man of the year, and he was out in full force last night, 24 points. He wasn't efficient, like we know. 3 of 12 from the 3, 45% from the field. I'll give him that, but 3 of 12 from the 3, not the greatest out there, but they're able to get it done. An amazing scoring job from the starters. They got it done with Jordan Clarkson off the bench. They didn't need Georges Niang, 6 points. Joe Ingles went 0 points on 0 of 4 from the 3. Yikes. But, that's just how deep they are. It doesn't matter that Joe Ingles put up 0 points. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Derek Favors only took 1 shot for 2 points. It doesn't matter. They've got Jordan Clarkson, and they got that amazing scoring starting rotation. So, well done for the Jazz. I give them credit. I just really wished it was a good matchup for this Grizzlies team. They just didn't have the firepower to keep up. All right, here we go with the Grizzlies now. Decent game overall, but unfortunately they don't have that bench. They don't have that 20-point score off the bench like the Jazz do. So John Morant, 27 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 5 of 9 from 3, 50% on 22 shots. Pretty solid. Just, it's too much of the Jazz. Dillon Brooks had a good game, 27 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. He wasn't in foul trouble. He had 0 fouls this game, thank goodness, but other people were in foul trouble. But Dillon Brooks got it done, 3 of 5 from the 3, 50% on 18 shots. That's what this man can do at full strength. Jonas Valanciunas, 18 points, 6 rebounds. He had 4 fouls. Jaren Jackson Jr., 15 points, 7 rebounds. He had 4 fouls once again, controlling the game a little bit. And then Kyle Anderson, 2 points on 1 of 5 from shooting. So they just don't have that scoreability. These first 4 starters, John Morant, Dillon Brooks, Jonas Valanciunas, Jaren Jackson Jr., they all did scoring. But then we get Kyle Anderson, 2 points in the starting lineup. Grayson Allen, 2 points on 4 shots. He didn't even hit a 3. Desmond Bane, 5 points on 6 shots. Tyus Jones, 4 points on 6 shots. DeAnthony Melton, 6 points on 6 shots. I mean, where's that Jordan Clarkson that this team needs? Where's that kind of 5th scoring option that this team needs to keep up pace with the Jazz? They just don't have it. And I'm going to still be big on this Grizzlies team. I hope they don't blow up this team. I truly hope they don't. They just need that kind of, get a Bradley Beal. Oh my God, could you imagine Bradley Beal on this team? Put Bradley Beal at the 3. Yeah, sir. Now we're talking. Keep John Morant. Keep Dillon Brooks. Keep Jonas Valanciunas. Maybe keep Jaren Jackson Jr. too. Kyle Anderson can go. We'll see. Maybe keep Grayson Allen for the bench role. Maybe. He's been kind of hit and miss this season. Some good performances, obviously. Some very abysmal ones, but maybe keep him for that kind of depth off the bench. But Bradley Beal on this Grizzlies team, I think it pushes them over the edge to kind of really be contenders next year. So we'll see how this Grizzlies team progresses in the offseason, what they do without, what they do with, and hopefully they kind of keep the core. They definitely need to keep, I don't want to see Dillon Brooks not on this team. So John Morant, Dillon Brooks, Jonas Valanciunas, that's what I want to see still on this team. But we'll see what they do in the offseason. And then the last game of the night, the Mavericks are back, baby. The home team loses. And that's not good because the Clippers have 4 home games, and that's never good. So Clippers lose again, man, and we get this. I mean, Kawhi Leonard. And can we talk about how different narratives affect different players? I mean, everybody loves to shit on LeBron James, but that man's actually clutch, and everybody that says he doesn't is just hating on the man. Statistically, just watching it with my eyes, he's always there in the big game. So I don't know where all that's coming from. That's just a hate and to have, fodder for television. I guess I get it. It's lame, but I guess. But Kawhi Leonard hit one big shot in his finals run. It was, what was it, Game 6 or Game 7 against the 76ers with the Raptors, something like that. Either way, Kawhi Leonard had the chance to tie up the game with 8 seconds left. The Clippers down 103-100, 3-point deficit, 8 seconds left. Kawhi Leonard takes a 3. and it's absolutely off the mark, air ball, and they lose the game. They lose the game because of that. And then Rondo has some words for him like, "Yo, you are a bomb, bro. You are a bomb." We're gonna get it right here. Watch Rondo as they're walking after the. They show the replay. Do I have the Rondo? I thought I had the Rondo face. Rondo bugging on Kawhi because he's absolutely unclutch. And, Kawhi Leonard gets all this love and respect, and the Clippers are so good. But then Kawhi just airballed the game-tying 3. And look at Rondo's face like, yo, bruh, you just airballed? You just airballed that 3? Rondo staring him down. And Kawhi Leonard has to look away. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm trash. So, yeah, this Clippers team, man, not that great. They don't have that scorability. The Mavericks, were kind of on it, all relying on Luka Doncic. There's a stat from last night that Luka Doncic scored or assisted on every single shot except 6. So, they just cannot stop Luka Doncic. Everybody wants to talk about how great this Clippers defense is. They can't stop a 22-year-old point guard? What? That's a good defense to y'all? Okay. All right. But here we go. Luka Doncic, 42 points, 14 assists, 18 rebounds, 6 of 12 from 3. The man took 37 shots and hit 45%. I'll take that. A plus 15 on the floor. He could not stop that, man. Tim Hardaway Jr., 20 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 of 10 from the 3. He took 19 shots. He hit 31%. Not efficient, but I'll take those 20 points. Boban Marjanovic back in the starting lineup. Love seeing that. 9 points, 7 rebounds. Now, he was a minus on the floor, and there was only 2 or 3 players, 1 starter, 2 bench players in the minus, so not the greatest there, but I do like Boban Marjanovic out on the floor. I think he's a decent offensive weapon. Just got to clean up the defense a little bit, but defense comes with, rotations and minutes and all of that. He's never playing. He's never in the starting rotation, so it's going to take a little bit to get kind of that chemistry of the 5-man starting rotation to get the defense locked up. So I'm not going to blame Boban for the -9 on the floor. Kristaps Porzingis, only 8 points, 6 rebounds. Dorian Finney-Smith, 8 points, 5 steals, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Once again, everything's just coming off of Luka last night, and that's what got it done. Maxi Kleber, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Dwight Powell, 8 points on 100% shooting on 3 shots. Love seeing that. And then, everything else was just kind of meh. But it's just Luka Doncic truly controlling this team. And if you can't stop Luka, you're supposed to be a good defensive team. I don't know what to tell you. But let's talk about this Clippers team now. Once again, floundering. Reggie Jackson, love seeing him still in the starting lineup. 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He shot 6 of 12 from the 3. That offensive production is needed on this Clippers team. Paul George, 23 points. He was a plus 17 on the floor. Love seeing that. 10 rebounds, 6 assists. He shot 3 of 7 from the 3. Nicholas Batum still at the 5, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Marcus Morris, 16 points, 7 rebounds, but he was a -12 on the floor. And Kawhi Leonard, 20 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, -8 on the floor, 1 of 7 from the 3, and 36% on 19 shots. So he couldn't get it done. Everybody wants to knock playoff P, and he definitely had his moments in these series, but at the end of the day, we have to hold Kawhi Leonard to that same standard, but nobody likes to do that. Rondo off the bench, 1 point on 6 shots. He only split free throws. That's where the 1 point came from, a -19 on the floor. He had 6 assists, which is still good, but at the end of the day, he's not getting it done either on this team of, playoff Rondo. Where's that? So nothing great off this bench. Patrick Beverley only playing 11 seconds. How unfortunate for that man. But yeah, the Clippers, they just do not have the depth. They'll have to face the Jazz in the second round if they make it past the Mavericks, and there's no way this Clippers team is going to beat the Jazz. The Jazz have way too much firepower. They're not all reliant on Donovan Mitchell or Mike Conley to spread the floor like this Mavericks team is with Luka Doncic. So if the Clippers miraculously can win 2 back-to-back in Games 6 and 7 to win the series, they are going to get absolutely demolished by the Jazz. It's probably another 4-1 win for this Jazz team. So Clippers, you can try to cheer and root all you want, but in the second round, you're going to get absolutely exposed, and even worse than you are right now. So Mavericks, very well done. Give it up for them. They win on the road again, 3-2, back to Dallas, and we'll see if a home team can finally get it done. All right, that was all the basketball last night. Lucky for us, there's basketball on tonight. 2 games on. Nuggets and the Blazers on at 8 o'clock on TNT, and the Suns and Lakers at 10:30 also on TNT. So a couple of game 5s. Yes, sir, game 5. So Suns had the chance to close it out on the road tonight, and the Nuggets also had the chance to close it out on the road tonight after that wild Damian Lillard double overtime clutch performance failed for the Jazz. So let's get these lines up to date, talk these games through, do our moneymaker. We didn't do the best last night. We chose the Clippers, -7. We got the Grizzlies, +9.5. We chose the Wizards, +6.5. Missed on all of those, but we chose the Hawks. So I'll take that one. We'll take that one. So let's see what the lines are today. Let's see what's the value, and let's see what we're talking about. So here we go. First game up, Nuggets, Blazers. Nuggets +5, Blazers -5. Okay, Nuggets +5, I think I'm loving. For the Nuggets, Will Barton and PJ Dozier are still out, unfortunate. And then Zach Collins is out for the Blazers. Alrighty, well, I think we're going to go with the Nuggets +5 here. I know this Blazers team is probably on a revenge mission, but how much demoralization just went through not just Damian Lillard, but the entire supporting cast in that double overtime game? Who's going to be fresh? Which bench is going to step up? And we know this Blazers bench never steps up. Carmelo Anthony had one good game this series, and Anthony Simons has just been abysmal the entire year. I mean, he's never been solid, and this Blazers bench has never been that great. That's kind of why the Nuggets match up decently in this first round, because they don't have that deep bench either with no Jamal Murray. So Campazzo goes into the starting lineup. We'll also see if Monte Morris gets into that starting lineup as well, and have Facundo Campazzo come off the bench, because we saw Monte Morris kind of get it done last game. So we'll see if they make the switch at point guard for this Nuggets team. Either way, I mean, I don't think it's that much of a difference, because they are still going to use that other player off the bench, and Facundo Campazzo is still serviceable. He's a solid weapon on this Nuggets team. Rookie, 30-year-old rookie. You gotta love it. But how overall is Damian Lillard going to perform? Can we rely on CJ McCollum? Robert Covington was missing wide open dunks in overtime, looking absolutely abysmal. So I'm going to take the Nuggets here. If they're able to close out here, it's going to be tough, but I do think they are at least competitive. Maybe they don't win. I do think they win, but they keep it close regardless. So that's where those 5 points are going to come from that we love. I think that's pretty good value here. I think the Blazers are going to be a little bit demoralized from what just happened here. Damian Lillard may be commanding the ball a little bit more here. He's like, I couldn't trust y'all in game number 5. I'm not trusting y'all in game number 6. Give me the ball. That's not a question. Give me the mother loving ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. CJ. What's that? Why are you dribbling past half court? No. Give me the ball. CJ. Give me the ball. Norman Powell, who you just got here at the trade, give me the ball. You don't even deserve. Give me the ball. Robert Covington, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Thank you. 3. Was that so hard? Damn. Next possession, we're going to lock down defensively. Nobody even think about touching that ball after the out of bounds. You better not even think about it. Ball's in my hand right now. Ball. Give me the ball. So I think Damian Lillard may overdo it in this game, and I think that's going to be their downfall. So Nuggets +5. All right, then we get the Suns and the Lakers. Suns +2.5, Lakers -2.5. And if they tell me no AD, I'm going to go wild on the spread. So here we go. For the Suns, Chris Paul's game time decision with the shoulder. I'm sure he goes. And that's good. That's it. And then for the Lakers, Anthony Davis game time decision, KCP game time decision. Interesting. This is a do or die game. So Anthony Davis probably goes out there. He's not going to be productive. He's not going to be reliable. Body him up. Force the double team. Force this man to do something. Make him uncomfortable. And I think that's what the Suns are going to do. Jay Crowder down low. He can antagonize Anthony Davis. Yeah, especially Anthony Davis is a little kind of not 100%, which we know he's not. We don't get any information here on Anthony Davis, he's questionable. That's all we're getting. So I'm assuming that if he does go, he's limited, and if he doesn't go, it's game over already. So I'm taking the Suns plus 2.5 here. Yes, it's LeBron, and LeBron probably does his thing, but I can't trust I can't trust Schroeder. I can trust Taylor Horton Tucker a little bit, but is that going to be enough? I don't think so. So the Lakers are going to have to truly do something here. Are they even letting fans in the stands? Did you see the fans in the stands for that Clippers game? Laughable. So the Lakers aren't even going to have their home stadium rocking and roaring behind them. LeBron's going to have to do it all, and he didn't do it all in game number 6 without Anthony Davis. Now Anthony Davis maybe plays. Is he going to do? He's going to step it up now? Like, why couldn't you do it in game number 6? So the Suns just have the outside shooting. The Lakers do not have that shooting to keep up pace with the Suns. That's all it comes down to. Chris Paul's looking fine. He may be injured a little bit, but he's still productive out there. Dennis Schroeder cannot be productive to save his life for this Lakers team. So Anthony Davis out on the floor. He's limited. He's hurt. He's not on the floor. Game over instantly. Pack it up and go home. So we're taking the Suns plus 2.5. So that's going to be our moneymaker for tonight. Nuggets plus 5, Suns plus 2.5, and looking to get back on track. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Let's quickly see if anything is breaking. Julio Jones trade, is that finally good? Not seeing it. Cardinals signed former Falcons, Bengals cornerback DeQuiz Denard. That's a pretty solid. Oh my God, that Cardinals defense. Yikes, man, that's going to be good. Oof. He just needs to come in and be kind of number 2, number 3 corner. Pretty solid. Alrighty. That's going to do it for us. No Julio Jones, folks. How unfortunate. Hopefully we know soon. Maybe tomorrow, Friday. News dump on Friday. I'll see. Alrighty. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. We're live here every single day. Noon Eastern, if you ever forget. Noon Eastern, every day. Not that hard. We're here. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.